Hey there, Internet. I'm Kyle. Apparently, I'm playing the uncle who works for Nintendo. This is a browser-based game that I've been wanting to check out for a long time. It's a choose-your-own-adventure kind of game, and it's based around the friend you used to have in like elementary school or, God forbid, middle school or high school that would always lie to you about having a uncle or a father or just someone who worked for Nintendo and got all this cool stuff. It's like, it was the kind of kid that'd be like, yeah, I got Mew with ouchies. But without further ado, here we go. The uncle who works for Nintendo. This is a horror game. It does make use of screamers or jump scares. Sound effects are used for tension and atmosphere. Some playthroughs may encounter plot points concerning a possible suicide. Thematically, many aspects of this game may recall the emotional abuse experienced by children at the hands of adults and very often other children. Pretty intense. Alright. You're 11 years old. What is your best friend's name? Ooh. It's kind of weird, because one of my best friend's names is on here. Two of them, actually. I guess a little later in life we were better friends, but I'm gonna go with my friend Brandon. Yeah. Your best friend Brandon has invited you to a sleepover at his house this weekend. You have been friends since first grade, so... Asking your mom? You never confirmed this, but you suspect the babysitter may charge extra when there are two kids. You sometimes feel like staying somewhere else is the only way you can help out. Huh. That kind of hit a little close to home. It's basically only a formality. On Friday night, you're home for only a few hours, long enough to pack, get in a fight with your younger sister, pack some more, and watch some TV. At 6 sharp, you're standing on the sidewalk outside Brandon's house while your mom idles in the car nearby. She leans out the window to you. You behave yourself, okay? She says, as always. I'll be at work, but if anything happens, you call me. I know what kind of kid I was. And the answer is not a very good one. My response probably would have been, okay, Mom. I'll pick you up tomorrow at 3, she says. Again, as usual. But then she pauses, looking up at the sky, which has been overcast throughout the day. If you play outside, she adds, be careful, it's probably going to rain. Alright, I wasn't that bad of a kid. I'd kissed my mom goodbye. After you part, your mom drives down the street, disappearing around the corner. You turn back to Brandon's house. The lights inside are glowing warmly. You can see Brandon waving at you from his bedroom on the 2nd floor. Head inside. Spooky soda. It's 6 p.m. Brandon's mom meets you just inside. Hello, she says. Dinner will be ready in just a few minutes, but you can drop stuff off in the den. You and Brandon are camping out there tonight. Cool! You drop your sleeping and overnight bags in the corner of the den, and then pause to take a look around. Behind the couch, a grandfather clock ticks softly. Through a set of patio doors on the far side of the room, you can see the sky is just as gray as it was when your mom left. Framed pictures line the walls, and over the dark fireplace hangs a monstrous pair of antlers from a buck that Brandon's dad shot years ago. And of course, there's the big screen TV. Alright. Sometimes it makes you uncomfortable how much nicer Brandon's house is than yours. Anyway. You look around. Yeah, you drop your sleeping and overnight bags in the corner of the den, and then pause to take a look around. Behind the couch, a grandfather clock is ticking softly through a set of patio doors. Oh wait, that's what I just read. And of course, there's the big screen TV. Very important. Brandon entered the room while you weren't paying attention, and he now stands in the doorway. Sorry, soda burp. Smiling expectantly. Are you ready for dinner? Yeah. Dinner passes quickly. Tonight's meal is spaghetti and meatball, one of Brandon's favorite meals, as his mother points out while piling a helping on your plate. Brandon's father cracks a beer, jovially interrogates you about how much trouble you and Brandon are getting into at school. Dessert is heaping bowls of ice cream drizzled in chocolate sauce? You can't even finish yours. Hell yeah. Cracks a beer. Wait, that wasn't a beer at all. That's a glass of lemonade. Why did you think it was beer? Brandon's dad doesn't drink alcohol. You're quite certain of that fact, now that you've remembered. Whatever. Alright. Oh. You go along now, says Brandon's mom, smiling from the side table. We'll clean up in here. Let's go get the TV ready, says Brandon. The two of you leave the dining area and head upstairs. Brandon's room is immense. You stay in the den because the TV is larger there, but there's a sizable one here, flush with the wall opposite the full-size bed. We'll take the 64 down first, says Brandon, heading towards his TV, opening the entertainment center cabinet. It's his prerogative, of course. He gets to choose what you play first, usually. But as Brandon begins unhooking the cord to the N64 from the TV, you catch the sight of other things he has in there. All the major stuff. An old SNES, a PlayStation, a Dreamcast, but some other things too. Things you don't really recognize. A large black box with green highlights. A smaller purple one. A strange white and yellow tower that looks with what look like gloves resting on hooks on either side. A compact white cone. Okay, so I think the first one is an Xbox. A smaller purple one, I would assume, given context clues, it'd be like a Game Boy Advance. I don't know what the other ones are, though. What are those? Brandon looks to the clutter in the cabinet. Oh yeah, he says. They're pretty cool. I can't show you to them, though. They're still secret. I promised my uncle. Of course, you suddenly remember his uncle. The uncle who works for Nintendo. Ah, Star Fox. In the corner, the grandfather clock is ticking softly. Through a nearby set of patio doors, you see it's still getting quite dark. Framed pictures line the walls. Brandon is parked in front of the large TV playing something on the N64. What's up with the framed pictures? You walk around the perimeter of the den, inspecting the pictures idly. Most of them are family portraits from years past. Brandon cradled lovingly between his mother and father, or any one of the three on their own. A happy, tidy family. Look for pictures of Brandon's uncle. Yeah, let's do that. You don't find any, not one. The only pictures here are Brandon and his parents. You don't know why that makes you feel uneasy. This makes you want to play Star Fox. That's all this does. Time passes. Okay, so I looked at there. Did I look at the grandfather clock? 7:30. Okay. Don't want to think about Brandon's uncle. I guess I'll watch Brandon play. You try to relax by watching Brandon play a game. After a moment, though, he looks over at you. You play this one, he says. Okay. This game is kind of spooky. Your character just has a flashlight and is running around some underground tunnels. Occasionally you hear what sounds like digging. You don't like it. Brandon is watching you and seems to be amused at how uncomfortable you are. You don't say anything, so you don't look weak. You play for a while, even though there doesn't seem to be an ending. The clock chimes. You're in the den. I'm gonna go pee. You head to the bathroom down the hall from the den. There's a shower, a linen closet, and a toilet. Check out the linen closet. It's a linen closet filled with large fluffy towels and washcloths. You're not sure why you looked in here. Are you finished? Check the shower. The shower is pristinely clean. Toilet? You don't have to go right now. Oh. I guess I'll go back. Guess I'll talk to Brandon. Let's talk about games. You have a rather one-sided conversation about whether RPGs on the PlayStation are better than old Super Nintendo ones. I do have a lot of hot takes on that. I'll save that for another time, though. An hour passes, no, it'd be at least 2 or 3. The Clock chimes. You're in the den. What time is it now? Brandon's mother bustles into the room holding a large ceramic bowl filled with popcorn under her arm. How are you kids doing, she asks. Good, says Brandon, his eyes not moving from the television. I hope you're having fun, says Brandon's mom. Mom, here's some popcorn. Extra butter. She places it on the floor by Brandon. Almost immediately, Brandon is shoveling popcorn into his mouth. Meanwhile, his mother smiles first at him and then back at you. There's soda in the kitchen if you get thirsty, she says, and some pizza from the other night if you get hungry. Ah, thank you. She looks at Brandon. Your father's gone to bed. I'll be there soon myself. I want you two to keep it quiet, alright? Yes, Mom, Brandon says tiredly. Oh, and before I forget, your uncle called. He suddenly has some business here in town tomorrow, and he's driving in early. He'll be here around midnight. For the first time, Brandon stops playing his game, stops eating popcorn, and turns to look at his mother. Okay, he says. I want you two to welcome him in. He'll be very tired and very hungry, so offer him something to eat before he goes to bed. Okay, Mom. Good night, kids. And with that, she's gone. Alright, here we go. I feel like this is about to get spoopies. In the corner, the grandfather clock is softly ticking out. What time is it? It's 9. Alright, 3 hours till he gets here. Frame pictures. Brandon's parked in front of large TV, playing something on the N64. Star Fox. There is a bowl of popcorn on the floor. Oh, no, he's playing Mario Kart. Nice. Bowl of popcorn. You grab a handful. It's buttery and delicious. Alright, I'm gonna ask about the uncle. Why's your uncle coming? Brandon shrugs. Business. I thought he worked for Nintendo. He does, says Brandon, frowning but not looking away from the TV screen. He's really important there. Then what does he have to do here? Brandon pauses the game, turns to you, visibly agitated. How should I know? I don't work for them. Right now, he's not quite yelling, but you think if you keep pressing subject, he might. I'm not sure I believe you. Brandon takes a moment to respond, as if he's not quite sure he heard you correctly. What? I don't believe your uncle works for Nintendo. You think you've finally done it. Brandon stands up, fist clenched to his side, mouth twisting horribly as he struggles to say something. You watch as he takes a step forward. I'm a flincher. Whew. Brandon shakes his head as if remembering something. Never mind, he says. Just never mind. You want to say something more, but he's already re-immersed in the video game. You take a breather. Go to kitchen. Go passing through the empty dining room. You enter the kitchen, which is also deserted right now. Fridge. Get some cold pizza. Yeah. Head back to the den. What time is it now? 9:30. Talk to Brandon. Talk to him about school. You strike up a conversation, but Brandon doesn't seem to want to talk about school and ignores you. An hour passes. It begins raining. Alright, nothing has changed. Is there anything else to talk to him about? No. I don't want to... Okay. I think I have no other option. It began with Mew. You didn't believe him at first. When Brandon came to school... Oh my god, it's this. Is this what it's going to be? Okay. You didn't believe him at first. When Brandon came to school one day and told you he had finally caught Mew. Prove it, you said. So he pulled out his Game Boy and showed you. There it was, Mew, the 151st Pokemon available only to players at promotional events, somehow unlocked on Brandon's game. It's really strong, he said. It KOs every enemy in one hit. Mew's not that good. Brandon demonstrated this claim at recess when you and some other friends linked Game Boys to do battle. You were the first one down. No one else gotten a single hit on Brandon's Mew. You also... Okay. You asked how he managed to get it. First of all, no. I famously, as a kid, once beat a kid who game sharked a bunch of level 99 Mewtwo's onto his team. And I beat him because I had no life. And if you naturally level a Pokemon, it's way stronger than if you use rare candies or cheats. Unless you max the stats. This kid wasn't smart enough to do that. Anyway, no one else. In a few days, everyone had quit playing Pokemon at recess. The allure had faded. You asked how Brandon managed to get it. Oh, my uncle got a job at Nintendo, said Brandon. You were walking home together past one of the construction crews. Brandon still lived next door to you at that time. Construction crews. There had been a storm not too long ago. Trees were down all over town. Buildings had collapsed. You were standing at an intersection with Brandon as a truck rumbled by, loaded up with ragged tree trunks. What a bad storm. Wait, this couldn't have been too long ago. When did Brandon move? There was something nice about being neighbors. Okay. Oh. He also got me this new Game Boy, Brandon said, pulling out of his pocket. You hadn't noticed it earlier, but yes, Brandon had a new sleek Game Boy Color. Until today, he had one of the old ones, a big gray brick like yours. This one's special edition. Isn't it cool? It really is. You snap out of your reflections. Remember my own Mew. You got your own Mew, eventually. Another friend had a Game Shark, which you borrowed one day. You spent the entire night unlocking every Pokemon you couldn't obtain in your copy of the game or hadn't yet traded for, including Mew. It didn't one-hit KO most enemies. It was incredibly weak, and you shamefully cheated the game further to make it strong enough. It even looked different from Brandon's. Your Mew is small, even cute, standing there with its round, cheerful eyes. But when Brandon had wiped out everyone's gold, it looked completely different. Compact, snarling, fierce. You asked him why. What? He said. That had been here, in the den. Oh, that thing. It had been a while since anyone talked about Pokemon. Well, my uncle got me a special edition Mew, first of all, he said, smirking a little. But not looking away from the PlayStation game he was playing. That's why mine looked different. Second of all, mine can one-hit KO because it's the real Mew. Had been here. Brandon had moved by then. But how long was that after the first storm? After he got Mew? You can't remember. The real Mew. You asked what he meant by that. Just what I said, Brandon replied. You cheated. You got a fake Mew. So of course there'd be problems, glitches and junk. You felt your cheeks redden. But not me, Brandon said again. I got the real Mew, and only me. My brother was so jealous. Wait. Brother? Brandon's brother. What about him? Why does remembering that comment make you feel uneasy? Because there's no pictures of him? And he's not around? You snap out of your reflections. The chime times you are in the den. Oh god, what time is it? Okay. I feel like I need to figure some crap out quick. Talk to Brandon. Ask if Brandon thinks the storm will be as bad as the last... Actually, let me go back. Frame pictures. Where's Brandon's brother? You know he has a brother. You know it, except he's not here in any of his pictures, and you... Think harder about the brother, yeah. He was older, not much. 1 or 2 years, a jerk sometimes. But not any more of a jerk than you are to your little sister. When it snowed, your mom would pay him to shovel the sidewalk outside your house. He lived next door. His name was... Remember his name? You can't remember his name. Oh yeah, ask Brandon about his brother. Yeah, I'm cutting straight to the chase. Brandon pauses the game he's playing and gives you an odd look. I don't have a brother, he says. But I remember him. There's a long moment of comfortable silence, broken only by distant thunder, the Nintendo, and the clock ticking. You're such a weirdo, says Brandon, and turns back to his Nintendo. The subject, it seems, has been dropped. Time passes. Oh, God. Do you have any... Let's see. I kind of want to call my mom, but I kind of also want to see what happens. I'll talk to him. Do you think the storm will be as bad as the one we had before? I don't like the sound of the wind. You remember the storm we had that tore down all the trees? I wrote that. You remember the storm? Asked Brandon. Yeah, you say, nodding. But no one remembers the storm, he says. It was big. It took down the trees. That's impossible, Brandon says. Impossible. No one remembers it. But I do. Chick said, no, you don't understand. Please, I'm not messing with you, but this is important. But this is different. Something's different. He said no one will remember the storm. Who? He came out of the storm. I was home alone. Brandon begins, his eyes growing distant. Mom was at work. Dad was out of the bar. I answered the door when the knocking started. He was lost and hungry. He said he could help me. All I had to do was promise to feed him. Bad expression. Feed me. Brandon tenses. What is that? It's my uncle, Brandon says. Or that's what he told me to call him. I don't really know. I don't know what it is. What did he do? He changed things, says Brandon. He said he could make things happen any way I wanted them to. That would always be the best, as long as I feed him. What did you have to feed him? Brandon looks at you, his eyes watering. For a long time he doesn't say anything, then suddenly you understand. Yeah, I'm just gonna punch him. Your knuckles connect with his jaws and he goes sprawling on the hardwood floor. You're not sure if he was expecting it or not. He doesn't try to get up, he just lies there looking at you. The grandfather clock chimes the hour as Brandon curls his head in his hand. It's time, he says, sounding close to tears. I don't want to play games anymore. That's him, Brandon said. I should go let him in. As he leaves the inn, you realize you can follow, but a part of you feels like being scared for a bit. Being scarce for a bit. Yeah, I'm gonna... Oh God. Kitchen. This passage does not exist. Kitchen. You go to the bathroom. You run down the hall of the bathroom and lock the door behind you. Or at least, this could have been a bathroom. The walls are bare and white and there's no sink or toilet. There's some odd featureless white boxes that can stand in for a shower or a linen closet. I'm gonna turn down the game audio just a little bit. Linen closet. You crawl into a plain white box that's about the size of a linen closet and close it behind you. From the front of the house, you can hear the front door slam open. After that, you don't hear anything except, child. The rain. No, not just the rain, but the voice in the back of your head, like, coming for you, child. Like something you can't even begin to describe. This is getting real spoopy. Through the locked door behind you, you hear it open easily. Something walks in. Hold my breath. You're not sure how. You know something is out there because you don't exactly. Oh, child. Hear it moving, but you know it's there. You know it's stopped. Right outside your hiding spot. It opens the door, even though you immediately realize it doesn't have any hands. I have friends for you, child. Friends for you. In the dark, you will play forever in the dark. Hello, child. Holy crap. The uncle. Is that the end? Holy crap. Okay. So, that was really cool. I guess I only got one ending? Huh. Okay, real quick, I'm going to try and do one more playthrough of this and see if I can get a better ending, but I'm going to start at 7. Alright, okay. Wow. Okay, that was big spooky. Alright. So let's see. Mind. That didn't do anything. Watching Brandon play didn't really do anything. Frame pictures. Okay. I'm not going to read as much through this one until I get into some things I haven't done yet. Just to get through it quickly. Let's see. I feel like thinking about... Yeah, the Mew showed you. One hit. Construction crews. Bad storm. Okay, done here. Alright, so yeah, his brother, something's wrong here. Okay, let's see. Buttery popcorn. Alright. Yeah, I guess I'll just ask about the visit. Your uncle stays with you when he visits? Yeah, Brandon says nonchalantly. He lives pretty far away, so he just drops by. Is that a little weird? Brandon gives you a look you don't like very much. How would you know? He asks. You don't even have an uncle. Yeah, I guess so. You drop the conversation in silence. Let's try that again. So why is your uncle coming? What sort of business? Stuff for Nintendo. They have a lot of business here? Why else would my uncle be coming? As if you're asked the dumbest question in the world. Well, it's cool to finally get to meet him. Yeah, I think you'll like him. What sort of work did your uncle do? Brandon pauses the game to restore you physically agitated. Okay, so we've seen this one. I'm not sure I believe you. I don't believe your uncle works for Nintendo. Whoa, okay, that's new. Brandon darts forward and pushes you back onto the hardwood floor, cracking your skull against the carpet. You take a moment to be dazed. I'll take a moment to be it. You lie there, expecting another punch or kick, but to your surprise, nothing happens. Slowly, you sit up and see Brandon standing there, arms still aside, breathing heavily. You realize he's close to crying. Are you okay? Brandon shakes his head as if remembering something. Never mind. Just never mind. He says, you want to say something more, but he's already reimmersed in the video game. You take a breather. Okay. Yeah, I'll ask him about the storm again. It was big, yeah. But I do. Who? Okay, I think I'm gonna interject in this a little more. You were alone? Yeah, he agrees. I was alone all the time. When the storm started, I thought I'd run over to your house, but it was late, and then he knocked. Who? I answered the door. When the knocking started, he was okay. So we're back to this. Said he could help me. All I had to do was feed him. Who are you feeding? It's my uncle. Okay. I want to go home. No, Brandon says. You can't. He's already on his way. There it is, like a voice. Not something you hear exactly, but something in the back of your head. Brandon heard too. See? He asked. See? He's almost here. Peace. Passing through the empty dining room, you enter the kitchen where the phone sits on the counter. Yeah, I'm getting out of here. You dial your mom's number and wait. She picks up after 3 rings. Things are really weird here. I just want to go home, Mom. Something in your voice seems to give her pause. Okay, she said after a moment. I'll call the sitter and tell her to come pick you up. It'll probably be an hour. Is that okay? Can you make her get here faster? Just sit tight. Alright, thank you. Of course, she says, with a hint of a sigh. I'll call her now, okay? She'll be there in an hour. Be safe. You return to the den. Alright, I'm getting out of here. Brandon's sitting silently on the floor as you come in. You're leaving, aren't you? This joke you're playing is really mean. I should have known it was different, Brandon mumbles. You were remembering too much. Yeah, if your uncle's so powerful, why can't you just keep me here? Brandon frowns. He gets weak. He can't do as much. Is that why things have been so different? Is he weaker now? Please, says Brandon. Please don't go. I've never not fed him if I don't. I'm not sure what will happen. So you want me to get eaten or whatever? No, please, no. It's not. I think he'll kill me. Do you understand? He would have killed me if I didn't. Shut up and leave me alone. Brandon is on the verge of tears, but nevertheless, he does as you ask, walking over to sit in the middle of the den as you finish packing. You wait in awkward silence until finally a car honks outside. You get up to leave. Brandon has wandered over to the fireplace and looking into its unlit depths as you walk out into the night. The sitter's familiar car is parked out front. As you walk closer, you see your little sister in the back seat, still in her jammies. Little sitter, a high school girl who lives down the street from you, looks incredibly unhappy to be here, but you think you'll be able to handle her. As you climb into the car, you cast one look over your shoulder back to the house. The front door is closed. You suddenly can't remember if you did that yourself. The lights in the den are still burning. As the sitter pulls away from the house, you stare at the window at Brandon's house, the lights blurred and magnified by the rain streaming down the glass. Eventually, it all slides out of view. You find out the next morning about the fire. It started in the den, says the papers, where there was known to be a fireplace. Apparently, it was left smoldering in the night. There were no survivors. Arson is suspected, since an accelerant would have helped the flames overcome the night's heavy rains, but nothing definitive is ever publicly released on this account. One day after school, you ride your bike by to check it out. Parts of the house still stand, walls and beams blackened by flames. Yellow caution tape has looped around the outside and the rubble hasn't yet been totally cleared out by the city. You decide to investigate. The second floor was either mostly burned away or fallen through, but standing in what used to be the den, you look up to the hole, what would have been Brandon's room. The broken glass and charred drywall crunch beneath your feet, until you step on something that isn't glass. You look down. There in the mess, it looks like a Game Boy. Ooh. It's a Game Boy Color. Not at all scuffed or damaged. In the back is a single cartridge, a copy of Pokemon Blue. I'm gonna take his Game Boy. Looking from side to side if someone might actually be watching, you pick up the Game Boy and flick on the power switch. After clicking through the Pokemon intro screens, you find there's no saved game on the card. It's like a brand new copy. You turn off the Game Boy and stuff it in your pocket and return home. Your mom is standing in the kitchen when you arrive, doing dishes, and your little sister's watching some annoying cartoon. Remember to take a bath and get dressed before 7, Mom calls. Remember? You're fairly certain she never told you to do that in the first place. Yeah. You walk into the kitchen, dropping your backpack on the linoleum floor. Why do I need to do all that? Silly, she says. Your mom turns from the sink to smile at you, and your throat tightens when you see how glassy and empty her eyes are. Don't you remember? Your uncle's coming over for dinner to celebrate his new job. Oh, I feel like I should have left that Game Boy. But we're going to leave it here, guys. This is a really cool game, and obviously there's at least 3 or 4 more endings I didn't get. I might play through it to try and get... There might be a good ending? I'm not sure. But I'm going to leave it here for right now. Thank you guys so very much for watching. If you liked what you saw, be sure to like, comment, subscribe down below. I'm Kyle, apparently.